Right then folks, Greeno here. Where am I today? Well, I am in relatively central London. Come down to Canary Wharf, more specifically to Wood Wharf. Why am I here? Behind me there you can see Hawksmoor. Now this is a name very, very famous in the world of steakhouses here in the UK. There are probably about 8 or 10 branches just here in London alone, and they've started to branch out around the country too. I think there's one in Manchester, one in Edinburgh, a couple of others around. Apparently the steaks here are next level, and I've got to say they want to be, because it's not cheap. It's not cheap. We're going to find out whether it's worthy of the reputation it has though. I'm really excited. I think it looks beautiful from the outside. It's on a little floating pontoon. Look, in the summer, if you want to, you can probably have your steak on a little sun lounger there. Plonk it on your lap on a tray, sat in your bikini, giving all the people in the offices around a nice little show. Well, not that I'd be in a bikini, presumably. Nobody wants to see that, do they? Oh dear, get that out of your minds quick. Right, before I start talking any more nonsense, let's get inside, shall we? Right guys, so this is kind of a restaurant of two parts. Upstairs is the actual restaurant itself. Downstairs here is a nice bar area with a beautiful decking area all over the top of the water, because of course we're on a pontoon thing here. Can you imagine, in the summertime, you finish a hard day's graft in the bank, you come down here by the water with your gin and tonic, have a little chat with your pals before getting the tube home. Sounds delightful, doesn't it? Well, apart from the bit about working in a bank all day first. That doesn't sound so much fun, but being here probably would be, wouldn't it? Right then folks, come in and sat down, and I've got to say I really like this restaurant. I like the idea of it, to be honest. We're on a floating pontoon on the water, so hopefully we don't float off and end up in the blooming North Sea or something. But the restaurant itself, really nice. Decor's great, lighting's great, colour of the seats is great. We like green, don't we? Menu. Now, this is a fairly on-point menu. Nothing kind of extravagant about it, apart from the pricing, clearly. So we've got oysters. They're a fairly regular feature on a steakhouse menu, aren't they? Nice range of starters. There's about 10 or 12 different ones. Fishy ones, meaty ones, veggie ones, all sorts of good stuff. But the steak's what it's all about, isn't it? Proper steakhouse. Now, here, a lot of the steaks are priced by the size of them. So it's not like you go into a normal place and, you know, the fillet steak is 30 quid or whatever. Here it's done by the weight. What we've ordered here, I'm here with the cameraman and we're going to share this. We've gone for the 700 gram porterhouse steak. That sounds good to me. That is £13 per 100 grams. So this steak itself is going to be about £90. It had better be good. Gordon Ramsay, this is going to beat your beef Wellington, I reckon. Because anything beats that. Sidewise, we've gone for some beef dripping fries, some creamed spinach, good, nice bit of iron there, creamed spinach is great. And we've also gone for a bone marrow gravy. Now, regular viewers will know, normally I would go with a béarnaise sauce. Last time I had a steak with Mrs. Greeno, I had a peppercorn sauce and it was delicious. So I thought, why not try something different here again today? And apparently, the bone marrow gravy here is something else. So, I'm going to sit back, got a nice little glass of tap water, and we're going to wait for a steak to arrive. Really looking forward to this. Right then folks, We were told 35 minutes for this to be ready, but I think it's come a little bit quicker than that, which is very, very nice. Beautiful porterhouse steak here, served in a lovely hot pan. It's too hot to pick up, that's for sure. And we have these beautiful beef dripping fries, served in a nice little metal canister. Nothing of creamed spinach, and a really nice little touch. We have some bone marrow oysters here. Now, we didn't order these. I don't know whether I've just hit the big time or not. Where are you off to there, Mr. Cameraman? Thought you were supposed to be a professional. We've got these bone marrow oysters here. Now, as I said, we didn't order these. They just brought them over as a little extra side with a little Merry Christmas message on. I don't know if everyone's getting them or not. I don't really care, because I like them. So, I think I'm going to start with one of these. Now, we've got little forks here to go at it. And you can see on the top here, it's got a nice little crumb that's cooked with all the bone marrow. It's served hot, and it's got a nice slippery oyster inside. So let's see how we can get this out. Is it going to come out all in one go? Here we go. Look at this. Beautiful. That's interesting. Can't really taste the oyster. The bone marrow is definitely the predominant flavour there. All mixed into the crumb. And it's a very, very tasty little amuse-bouche kind of thing, just to get the old taste buds going before we hit onto the main event. I'll let you know if I spot anyone else having one, or whether I'm just really special. Okay, after that lovely little oystery starter thing, let's get into the main event, shall we? So, of course, the porterhouse steak here, it's kind of like a T-bone, but it's just a slightly different place on the cow where it comes from. So we have here the sirloin. Look at the cookery on that. That looks beautiful. Off we go there. And I'll get a piece of the fillet too. Again, we'll take that from the middle of the steak there, so you can see the cookery on that. Very nice indeed. Very, very nice. Now, of course, we're expecting the fillet to be the more tender cut and the sirloin here to be the more flavoursome one. Get a few of these little chips on there just to see how they are too. Not going to go too mad because Mr. Cameraman wants to eat some as well. And we'll get a little bit of this creamed spinach. There we go. And I'm advised this is going to be the star of the show. This is the bone marrow gravy. So let's see how that pours out onto the steak here. Oh, look at that. You can see the chunks of bone marrow in there. That's lovely and glossy. Oh, yeah. It's like a Labrador's coat. That's how glossy that is. So I'm going to start with a couple of the little sides here first, see how they are. The creamed spinach, really nice looking consistency to it. That's got a really good flavour. You're getting that slightly iron-rich spinach thing, but the sort of creamy dairy element in there. It's almost cheesy. Wow. That is delicious. Nice texture. Spinach can be a bit watery, can't it? This is not. This is not. Onto the fries. Beef dripping fries, of course. Oh, wow. That's amazing. They're quite heavily salted. I don't mind that. Beautifully crispy. They're still soft in the middle. Again, that's not always easy to do with fries. Sometimes if you try and get them so crispy on the outside, they're hard. These are not. Amazing, amazing. But they're just the sides, aren't they? This is the main event. Here we go, onto the steak. Now, I think I'm going to start with the sirloin first, which is this piece. See how this cuts. Very nice. Get a little bit more of this gravy on there. I'm excited for this. Oh yeah, baby. That's so tasty. That gravy, let me tell you, is next level. That is another one of these things. Fill a bath with it, stick me in, and come back in a couple of days. I'll be happy as Larry. That is exceptional. The steak is cooked beautifully. That's so good. Poor Mr. Cameraman is just having to sit here looking at this at the moment. He'll get his turn. He'll get his turn. Here we have the fillet steak. Look how soft and buttery that is. Oh, yes. Hardly needs cutting at all. Nice bit of the bone marrow gravy on there again.
It's good.
That's amazing. Now, I don't often order fillet because I prefer the more flavoursome steaks with a little bit more fat content. But that still has flavour. This one really does. And especially when you pair it up with that gravy. But the texture of it just makes it. That is beautiful. Wow. Right, I'm going to crack on, eat some more of this, let the cameraman get stuck in too, and I'll come back to you in a little while. Right guys, they've come and cleared the table. There wasn't much left to clear in fairness. We could have licked those plates clean and they wouldn't have had to wash them up. Absolutely delicious. We brought over the dessert menus. It looks great. There's a sticky toffee pudding, pavlova, a peanut butter shortbread, tiramisu, apple pie, all sorts of good options. But after that steak lunch, I cannot fit a pudding in me, that's for sure. I've got to say, this place has really filled up since we've been here as well. We came in just as it opened, and it didn't look like it was going to be that busy. Now, I reckon 95% of the seats are taken in here. You can probably hear how noisy it is. Just in the background, really good, really good. Anyway, like I say, need to go and stretch the old legs a little bit, so we'll go and talk outside about the experience as a whole. Come on. Right then, folks, what a delicious lunch that was. Really, really, really good. We'll come outside now, had a little wander around just to try and let things settle down a little bit and to calm down after paying this bill. Total of £122.06. I'll talk you through that in a minute. What can I say about that place as a whole, though? The restaurant itself, beautiful inside. A great little concept on this kind of floating pontoon. I showed you the little bar area, didn't I, downstairs at the beginning of the video? Like I said, in the summer, that is probably a really nice place to stop for a drink after work. I think I'd like that. Upstairs, though, nicely set out, pretty plush, without being too grandiose. And the atmosphere in there was really nice. By the time we'd finished up, it was pretty much full. But it didn't feel oppressive in there in terms of the noise levels. There's no banging music like in Mr. Ramsay's place. Just a nice buzz of people enjoying themselves. Now, let's think about the food. First of all, we were given those oysters. Now, I don't know why we got them, because like I say, we didn't order them. Were they just because we'd ordered the porterhouse and it was an expensive cut of steak? Possibly. Not sure. But what I will say, they were absolutely delicious. The little oyster underneath, topped with those breadcrumbs and all that lovely bone marrow in there. Really kind of meaty, intense flavour. Delicious. The steak. Wow, what a great piece of meat that was. That cow did not die in vain, let me tell you. The fillet side of it, beautiful and tender. Great cookery on there. Nice little crust on the outside of it, giving it plenty of flavour. Fillet needs that, I think. The sirloin side of it, again, really, really nice. Good cookery. Nice crust to the outside. Slightly more intense flavour. Delicious. Didn't leave a scrap of meat on the bone. In fact, it took all my self-will not to pick it up and start gnawing on the bone myself like a dog. It was that good. The sides, beautiful fries in that beef dripping. The creamed spinach, beautiful. That gravy though, oh my goodness. Intense flavour, little bits of bone marrow in there too. Yum, 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 yum. Can't go wrong. Service, again, unobtrusive, but on point. Coming in and looking after us, topping up water glasses, checking we're all okay. No complaints there. So, we've got to think about the score, haven't we? And it's going to be partly based, I think, on this price. That porterhouse steak, on its own, was £91. Now, that's a lot of money, isn't it? That is a lot of money by anyone's standards. 700 gram steak, £91. It is a lot. It was great though. The gravy was £4, creamed spinach £7, and the fries £6.50, and obviously the oyster things were complimentary. Service charge is 12.5%, standard for London, £13.56 for the service, total of £122.06. Now, great as it was, it's kind of hard for me to get my head around spending that kind of money on a lunch. But it was really good. It was really good. So score, I think I'm going to go about a 4.5. There's nothing really about the food I can criticise, nothing really about the restaurant I can criticise. It just hurts to pay that much money. I got to say, if you want a special occasion and you're in London, this is the kind of place you want to go. Really, really good. You'll get looked after, you'll get well fed. Happy days. Right then folks, so if you've enjoyed this little look at Hawksmoor down here at Wharf in London, don't forget, thumbs up on the video always helps. And everyone who is enjoying this content, have a little look through the vault. There's about 250 videos in there currently. There's bound to be something else you'll enjoy. If you do, why not subscribe? It's what all the cool kids are doing, believe me. So I'd like to wish you all a Merry Christmas. Hope you have a fabulous time with your families. And I'll see you next time. Bye for now.